Hello my friends, happy beautiful day to you all. I'm here at the house this evening and we have a few hours before the sun sets and it's all dark around. So I had an idea. So my original plan was to come and mud tonight and I wasn't going to video it because you know, you're all sick of that. Understandably, aren't we all? None more than Jay, but secondly, none more than me. But today, first of all, if you watched my last video, you know I'm on a bit of a kick, a gardening kick. I'm a little bit crazy about it right now. So on the last video, my mom and I talked, and I'll put a card up for that, but my mom and I talked about plans for the gardens, what we're gonna do this year, especially like the front garden by the porch, and a little bit about some other gardens. And I showed you some inspiration, things that I'm thinking for the back garden. We didn't actually go in the back on the last video, but I said in the last video that I wasn't going to do anything back there this year, or at least any gardening, but, and I'm still not planning on it, but I went there the other night, last night I think, and I just walked around, like I literally just walked around and looked at it for quite some time because it's just so nice. Like, first of all, I've been looking up on Pinterest and YouTube and whatnot, like wooded gardens and like design pics, inspiration, stuff like that, just for next year, for the next 12 million years, because it's going to take 12 million years to make that what I'm actually wanting, but I digress. Anyway, I've been looking at it and I mean, that place there has such ridiculous potential. Like, I'm like, how did I happen to be so blessed to have this beautiful back garden potential? Because I look at all of them and they're all like, oh, you should make a water feature or something, put a fountain or try to make a creek or something. And I'm like, I have this like rushing brook of beautifulness and it's just there. It's just there and it's just beautiful. Yeah, and so that's just really exciting and I cannot wait to bring it to the absolute beauty that it can be and it will be, because it really has been just neglected over the last many years and so much has grown up. And as you know, last spring, maybe, fall, I don't remember, it was last fall, I think, we did take down a lot of the trees so you can actually see the brook, because in the past you couldn't even see it like at all. And I have those bonus rock walls. We're gonna go down there. I'm gonna stop talking about it and actually go down there. But anyway, the moral of my story is, as I was like looking around at it for a million hours, there's a lot of sticks and debris and stuff that's all back there. And like, obviously there's going to be more excavator work and stuff down there, but all of the sticks and debris and stuff like that, that's all handwork. So I was thinking today, because it's such a beautiful day and the next several days are supposed to rain, so perfect time to be mudding in the house. But while it's such a beautiful evening, why not spend that doing a little bit of grunt work back there and just trying to put things into piles and just making it look a little bit nicer, especially before all of the stuff grows up. This is the time to do it, because when all of the stuff from the ground grows up, weeds and all that jazz, it's going to be a whole different story, and I'm not going to be wanting to root around there with the snakes. I'm really hoping that I don't see any snakes. I don't like snakes. So let's take a walk. We have probably an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours if we're lucky. Maybe we can see a beautiful sunset. It's a little cloudy, but I have seen some of the most really beautiful sunsets over there. Especially, so the other night I was in the woods, like I said, and like down by the creek and then watching the sun set through the woods. Absolutely lovely. I've been thinking about all of this so much, so I feel like I'm just gonna be like, blah, blah, blah. I feel like I have so much to tell you guys because, like I said, I've been obsessing over gardens, and when I obsess hard. So let's get going. I feel like I should give a nice preview here. Look at that stone. I know I've shown it before. She big. Basically all of this little stuff, yeah, it's got to be moved by hand. And it's going to take a long time, a lot more than tonight has to offer, but I feel like you can't really see it. It's hard to see all of the twigs and stuff because they are on top of a whole bunch of leaves. But this is what we're dealing with. This is the before. And someday, guys, you're gonna see the after. But there's gonna be a whole lot of during to watch first. Okay, so as I was walking through here the other day, I was overlooking at the stone wall situation on this side of the river. So if you recall, I'm not gonna go over the river right now because there's really no good way to get across. But I'll show you a picture. You've seen it in other videos. I've got this massive, massive stone wall on the other side of the river. Basically, there used to be, I guess, a starch mill back here, something like that. And so the river was dammed up. You can see that there's a little bit of a stone wall on this side of the river. And then over there, can you see it? The very tippy top of the stone wall. So this was all dammed up. And what is left over here is a lot less impressive as the other side, but it is still really impressive. Like, I know if you've been with me for a while, you've seen this before, but it sure is nice to look at anyway. To think that this is the quote-unquote unimpressive side of the stone wall, question mark. How is this just on my land? Like, it's so beautiful. So, I don't know what the best way is to make this whole thing into a garden, but we're gonna work really hard to find it. It is so cool. It's all just, it's like a dry stone wall, you know, and it's just like, it's just there. It's just there. So, I'm gonna start cleaning up, but I'm gonna tell you about an idea I had this week. So just as a quick FYI, the garden area back here, what I'm going to call the wooded garden or something like that, I would like it to be generally from the house until this point. So this is where this stone wall is. I want the garden to be this entire space, and it's going to be a mixture of, you know, different areas of garden. And, you know, I've said in the past, I want to have a sauna, and I'm kind of thinking maybe even like this somewhere near the river, but on really nice high ground that doesn't flood at all. So somewhere back here, there's going to be a sauna. Someday, I can't wait. I absolutely adore saunas. So one of those beautiful ones too that have windows so that you can see outside and like to the creek, guys, especially in the winter when there's snow and you're sitting there sweating to death and that's not going. Yeah, like can you honestly think of anything better than that right about now? Me neither. So this is like a full tree. But anyway, this was my great thought. I was thinking about buying something. At first I was like, maybe a four-wheeler that had like a little wagon. Because I'm like, when I get into all of this and even all of the landscaping everywhere, I'm really going to need some sort of equipment. Because, like, even these piles that I'm making tonight, I'm going to have to move them somewhere. I can't keep borrowing equipment from my dad. You know, grow up and be an adult kind of thing. JK, I get tons of stuff from my dad. And I'm going to probably continue. Thank you, Dad. But nonetheless, you know, it would be really great to have. So, where was I? Four-wheeler. I was thinking four-wheeler, and then I got the idea actually inspired by my grandmother, who has like a little super old riding lawnmower that she puts like a little wagon behind, you know, and moves all her garden stuff. And so I thought of that, and I was like, hey, if I had a lawnmower, then I could also mow the lawn with it. And I don't have much lawn, and I really honestly don't mind mowing it by hand with the push mower, but it would also be like way faster with the riding lawnmower, so I'm definitely not against it. So that's what I'm kind of thinking. I'm like thinking of like I wonder what this is. Looks nice. I'm thinking of getting an actual garden tractor. So from the research I could see, there's like riding lawnmowers, then there's lawn tractors, and then there's garden tractors, which are like even bigger. Because looking at this area here, she's a mess. And if I'm gonna get something that, like, even that, I'm gonna have to do a lot of work before I can even drive anything in here, I imagine. There are so many rocks, but even for moving rocks and stuff. So anyway, that's why I was thinking like some sort of like a heavy duty sort of thing. Like, so if you guys have any knowledge on that or any great ideas of what you think I should get, I want something that's sturdy enough that, I mean, not like $1 million, but something that's sturdy enough that I can actually do real work with, especially back here where it's kind of really rough and stuff. I'm gonna have to do a lot of moving rocks, even just to make good paths that you can drive something in. But, and then also, like, I will need something to help with moving rocks. So it's kind of a conundrum. But that's generally what I'm now thinking towards. And I know, I'm sorry if you guys are like not into landscaping, but there's going to be a lot more landscaping going forward because it's a big thing, you know. But you can always pick and choose if you want to watch my videos. I understand that if you're just here for construction. But if you're here for a good time, I suggest staying for the landscaping. So, this whole area is quite overwhelming. Big picture. But we're just taking it one step at a time. Let's see. And, you know, we'll get to it eventually. I literally keep freaking out, and you didn't see it on the camera, but and this happened yesterday too, where I'll like step on a twig and then the other end of it pops up, and then I have like a little freak out thinking that it's a snake, and it's not. I'm gonna knock you over. I'm not careful. That's long. Need a chainsaw in here. Maybe I should get like a little chainsaw. I don't know how to run a chainsaw. It's one of those things, like my dad's a logger, you know, and the chainsaw is one of those things that I maybe purposely chose not to learn how to do so that I wouldn't have to do it. And or maybe Dad never trusted me enough to teach me. So another thought that I've dabbled with, and I've think I've told you about this, is goats. So I wonder if you have any thoughts on that. A friend once offered to try to borrow her goats for eating around here, and I don't know if that might be a good solution or not. It's one of those things, I did some research on it actually, and it's like goats don't, I mean, they just like chew down what's there. It's not like they're actually getting rid of anything. So I don't know if that's actually helpful or not. Like, how do you get rid of all the stuff growing? You must need some sort of machinery, right? I don't know. I really am going into this big dreams, not a lot of knowledge. However, I do feel confident in myself to learn as I go. And I think it's going to turn out really well. Because think about how much I did not know about the house and how to do anything. And how far we've come. I don't know what that is. Those are attached. We've come so far. So honestly, guys, if there are any of you who are watching who are landscapers or have done something like this, I've tried so hard, truly, to find like good examples on the internet of people who have taken like a straight up forest like this, taken out some of the trees, stuff that's like totally overgrown, and turned it into what I'm picturing. Check it out in the last video if you didn't already. Like that kind of forest garden. Especially, like, I found almost no pictures with like a creek like this. And I'm like, surely people who happen to have creeks in their backyard have made it into beautiful gardens. Like, this can't be an original thought. So, if any of you guys have done that, let me know any tips and stuff in the comments below. Or, like, send me pictures on my email is in the description below. I would love to see pictures of, you know, what you were able to do with forests like this, because I'm all for inspiration photos and stuff, or tips, because I'm really coming at it like having never done anything like this. I mean, I've made like a regular garden at my house from grass into a garden, but that's a whole different story than this forest into a garden. And I'm up for suggestions, because even my mom, I don't think, has done anything too much with like straight up forest into gardens. I bet my grandmother has. I'll have to ask her. But yeah, I'm all for suggestions, and before and after pictures especially. So anyway, like, also for all my landscaping friends out there, I'm such a mess. If you, like I said about buying that garden, what did I call it? Garden tractor. Or if there's any other equipment that you think is like a necessity for some, like a job like this, I would love to hear your input on that. I feel like things like brush hogs, I don't know what that is, but I've definitely heard the name before, and I feel like it's applicable. Or just like, how do you make this ground into something that you plant in? Question mark. Let me know. Put it in the comments below. I know that this stuff is all going to grow up, but it definitely can't hurt to have piles. Even if I can't get to clearing them out of the woods right off, it's still better than everywhere. And you guys are probably really truly thinking like, okay, this girl has gone heavy on the caffeine today. But I'm really just super excited about gardening. I'm really excited about this because honestly, even just the view of the pond is so obstructed by scraps of cracks everywhere. And I'm terrified that like a whole host of snakes is gonna come out. I mean, I don't know if you can hear me, but I don't know what seasons, like what time of the year snakes give birth to little snakes, but it is hands down like my biggest fear to like pick something up. I know this happened to my great uncle once, and great aunt or great uncle, I don't remember which one it was, but they told me the story and I have never been able to get it out of my head. They picked up it was like hay that they were using for mulch, and so probably springtime, and it picked it up and it was like a nest of baby snakes, and it went for some reason the smaller the snake the worse for me. I'd rather have a boa constrictor than a little snake this big, and they all went all through the fingers. Biggest fear of my life. So picking up things like this, not my fave. So once I do all this with twigs, you know what I should do? Is do the same thing again with rocks. That would actually probably be pretty smart. Which is where like a little piece of equipment would be great that I could ride around and put it in the bucket instead of having to carry it. Don't want to get particularly wet. That's heavy. Like a whole log. That's part of the tree. Guys, I see something you want to see. Okay, check this out. Okay, well first of all, I'm going to show you this one. I found this growing yesterday. Not sure, there's a couple of them. And way back there on that little island, there's a whole bunch more. I'm not sure what it is, but I texted Mom a picture and she thought it might be a jack in the pulpit coming up. But I just see here another treat right here. Now I'm making this up, but I think it might be a trillium. And like I said, I'm making this up. But I do know that there are trilliums out here in this woods because I've seen, like I know what they look like in bloom. And I saw them here last year, which are really pretty. And I think they're kind of rare. Again, don't quote me on anything. But my grandparents used to have them in their woods and they were white, but I remember seeing them in the maroon color here last year. But it's so fun to see things coming alive. I'm super pumped about this garden. So after lots and lots of mudding that has been going on lately, which by the way is so almost done, it's really nice to have a nice day There's also been a lot of rain, but a nice day to get outside and clean up. You can see the fruits of your labor because you don't really see it too well when you're mudding, but I mean overall it looks gorgeous, but every coat is not too terribly different. All that to say, I will give you a little tour, because it's been a bit, of the inside of the house after I'm done tonight. Show you where we're at. So stay tuned for that. Or if you're sick of me running my mouth, skip ahead to that. I'll just be running my mouth more then though. Do you guys think a gardener's high is a thing? I think I've got that. It's like a runner's high, but for gardening. All I can say is I hope it sticks. I truly feel though that, like, I hope that next year I'll really be able to actually start working in this garden. But I really am thinking that anything that I get done just clearing things out this year will be a major step up for next year. I mean, obviously, you guys know, it's just heaps and mounds of junk over there. And I really got to get to all that too. But every little bit helps. And all of these stones, if I get to moving them, like, I'm gonna want to use them. They're gorgeous stones everywhere. If there's one thing that this area can grow, it's stone. Yeah. So, and I've got lots of places to use them. So, definitely I think the next step, or a next step, would be piling up all the stones in the forest, which will be an adventure. Can I also just say how fun it will be to, like, when this turns into a beautiful, beautiful garden, to make a video of, like, from start to finish, of just taking parts of different videos, you know, to see the whole thing from this mess, well, from even worse, you remember it was even worse of a mess, to this mess, to beautiful. I truly feel / wonder, because, as I've said before, I don't know anything. But I just wonder if there's something I should be doing, like right now, with all of these seedlings of things that are growing up, which need to be taken care of. Like, you know, like, obviously I'm not going to go hand pull them out. So, masters of gardening and landscaping, tell me what I should be doing. Because I don't know. Some people start YouTube channels to share their expertise in things. I start YouTube channels because I have no expertise and I'd like to glean from yours. But I've got big dreams, boys and girls, big dreams. I know I've talked about this before, but have you guys ever watched the show Big Dreams, Small Spaces? Or Small Spaces, Big, I think it's Big Dreams, Small Spaces, with Monty Don, the English gardener. Yeah, what a great show. This is my small space, big dreams. It's gonna be gorgeous. I only wish Monty could come and help me, because he'd know just what to do. It's nothing. So many leaves. What are they hiding? I just need to be brave. Okay, things are getting beautiful. Over here, the sun is making its way down. Have you guys ever seen a more beautiful creek? There's a lot of these popping up around here. It's really interesting, actually. There's a lot of things I think that they are sticks, and they're actually the roots of the trees, but they go like right into the water. It's very pretty. I have the hardest time believing that this land is going to turn into like I want it. I definitely want it to have paths, like winding paths of different gardeny things, and I've seen a lot of different path options. Sometimes they are like stone, or they're mulch, or they're dirt, or they're grass. But like just even thinking of like it's so rough. And also, it'll have less leaf cover, I'm guessing. Like there is dirt down there. Since there's less trees now, it should have less leaves in the autumn, but still a lot of leaves. I don't remember where I was going with this. It just, to think of it being not so rough sounds really nice. I'm really looking forward to that. Like I want it to be a wooded garden, but not like a crazy. I feel like there are different levels of how much garden you want it to be, or how much woods you want it to be. And I feel like I want it to be kind of wild, kind of like think like a botanical garden, like with lots of ferns and hostas and stuff, but probably more on the manicured side of it, but still kind of wild, but not like a wood, like not super foresty. Like I want it to look like a garden, but just in a really nice shaded, green, lush sort of way. Lush is a good word. And I think we can make it happen. Hello. So this little area over here, when the river is big, it must kind of come out here. And I know we're gonna have to do something with this. I don't know what, but I can imagine it is going to be very mosquito-ish if we don't figure something out there. I don't know what, but something. However, look at how lovely. Okay, so obviously this rock and this rock are both massive, and they're not going to go anywhere because they're the size of like the moon. Oh, and this rock, who knows how big this is. Like it's probably like the iceberg that the Titanic hit. We can only see the top of it. Anyway, so obviously there are a lot of big rocks here. Let me give you my head for scale. This rock is not as big as that rock. So these big boys are obviously going to stay here. There's a lot of big rocks, that we're going to be dealing with. But I think that we can really do pretty things. There's another massive one over here. Oh my goodness. We can do pretty things to show them off in the gardens, I believe. Now this one over here is not probably technically on my land, but check out how big it is. There we go. Can you see it? Let me get out on this rock. That's a big rock. I'd give you my head for scale, but I feel like I'd get wet. This is the best I can do. It's really big. So that's really neat, honestly, and it's so pretty here. This is why I want to get all of the debris picked up. Like, look at this, is just gross, And once I want to get in the water sometime and really clear out everything that I can for all the sticks and stuff that are just making what is absolutely gorgeous slightly less absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, that's a big boulder. I like that boulder. That is a reference to Shrek, although I think that's a nice boulder. And we have, I feel quite confident in my assumption that these are tulips. Oh my gosh, not tulips. Trilliums coming up because of the 3 leaves. But look at them, they're all over the place. See, you're not supposed to pick trilliums, if I recall. You're not supposed to pick them because they're rare. Again, as always, might not be true. I might be making that up. But look how pretty. And such a pretty color. So it looks like my woodland garden is already coming up and I don't even have to do anything. That is amazing. So one of the areas that majorly needs work, some of it's going to be handwork, some of it's going to be machinery work, is right here close to the house. So we don't usually see it from this view, but there's definitely a lot of full tree logs here of stuff that is no bueno, and garbage, of course. But this area needs a lot of work, but I definitely hope to get it cleaned out so that it makes a really, really beautiful view from the house, and maybe even a quick way to get to the creek, or definitely a clear view from the kitchen window and all that jazz. Just look at this. I mean, I'm sorry to make you guys all so jealous of how beautiful this is, but I can't even help it. It's so beautiful. You're dead anyway. Just give up. Ah, there we go. We've got some open. Oh, my gloves are so big. See how beautiful they are? I don't even need to do anything out here, guys. It's already a woodland garden. Yeah, this really, I don't know if you can tell at all on the screen, but here in real life, that truly did make a big difference. Let's actually do a little walk through now while there's still sunlight. And then I'll take you inside while we can still see and show you the progress there. But so we've got multiple piles, and truly you probably can't tell the difference, but it does look a lot nicer. You can tell that we did something based on the piles, if nothing else. But let's see, there's 2 piles. Do a quick walk back through. Oh, that's attached. Whenever you see a big piece and you're like, Abby, why didn't you get that piece? Just know, 3 piles, that it probably still has roots in the ground. Lots of little seedlings. I don't know what they are, but probably a lot of them are going to have to get pulled out eventually. Isn't this mossy stone pretty? Oh, hi. You know what I saw on the internet? Really interesting. So I saw a way to get, if you want your stones to have moss on them, you take moss and water and put it in a blender and then like rub it on your stones or stone walls or whatever. And I thought that was very interesting. And I guess my stone walls do have a little bit of moss, but something to think about. I don't know if that's good or bad or elsewise, but it's interesting. Okay, I don't remember if that was pile 4. I don't know, I've lost count. But lots of stones over here. Another pile. One last beautiful look at this stunning opportunity. Oh, look at the sun shining through the trees, streaming through onto these stone walls. Guys, are we in love or are we in love? I can't wait to see what the future holds for this little nook. I mean, honestly, does it get any better than that? Let's take a quick look inside and then maybe we can catch the sunset. Okay, here we are. Let's turn on the light because we can do that. Okay, basically what we're dealing with is this room, living room, has 3rd coat all over it. Yeah, you know what that means. Done mudding. Dining room, kitchen area, also 3rd coat. I love that. Heading upstairs. I want to say that the hallway here still needs the 3rd coat, has a 2nd coat only. My bedroom, I know for a fact has a 3rd coat because I did it myself. Bathroom, only 2 coats, I believe. Everywhere has 2 coats. Some places have 3 coats. This bedroom, I think 75% of it has a 3rd coat. So what's left? Let's see. The bathroom needs a 3rd coat, this hallway, a little bit in that room, and then the laundry room and bathroom down here. Coat closet still needs a 3rd coat. Yes, this still needs it. I think that's basically it. Hallway still needs the 3rd coat. This needs a 3rd coat. By the way, I don't know if you can really see it. I decided to go similar to the kitchen window in here. I'm doing sheetrock on 3 sides, and then on the bottom I'm doing a sill of wood. So it's going to be the same wood there, wood there, wood there, and wood there. But that is where we're at. Everything obviously is still going to have to be sanded after the 3rd coat goes on. So it'll just be one final sand down. Hopefully, we might have to, you know, do a couple little spots here and there. But for the most part, I mean, that's where we're at. It's super, super exciting. Probably, yeah, within a week, I would say we'll be able to start cramming. So, yeah. Yeah, we're all excited about that. But I'm also hoping to continue to do exciting things outside, because I know you guys don't want to watch weeks and weeks of painting either. It goes from mudding to painting, which both are exciting, but maybe not the most exciting to watch. It's literally like watching paint dry. So anyway, I'm excited that the weather is getting nice and things are happening outside, because honest to goodness, guys, I am just as excited about the outside of this whole area, you know, as I am the inside, because it's like the total package of it all that is so ridiculously exciting. When I stop and think about this place that I get to live, I mean, could you literally ask for a better situation? Well, maybe the barn, but we're not gonna think about that. Other than the barn, you know, this area is just to die for beautiful, in my humble opinion. And look at this view that I get to look at across the road. You know, it's just so pretty. It's just absolutely beautiful. Who could ask for anything more? Look at that home sweet home. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you are as excited about the forest garden, all of the gardens, the landscaping in general, as I am. And I hope that you are as excited about the outside stuff as the inside stuff, like I am, because there's a lot more of that to come. I know this is a drill and a dream, but fun fact, carrying on the drill and the dream situation, I saw this, like, I was watching this YouTube video about gardening, and the lady was like saying that her number 3 best tools that she uses in the garden, and one of them was called a bulb auger, and it's like a drill bit that you put on your drill, and it's to dig holes for bulbs or whatever. Or like she was saying, like that she uses it to loosen up soil, and I was like, oh my goodness, I need one of those. First of all, a drill and a dream. That wasn't actually my first thought, but my first thought was the ground is so hard here sometimes. It's kind of clayey, I think. It's maybe not the best, but that sounds great to like drill holes into the ground to like loosen up the soil. So anyway, it's still like a drill and a dream. I don't know, kinda. But yeah, there's a lot more going on here at the house other than just house construction. So I hope you're as excited about that as I am. And guys, happy spring. Loving it. I will see you guys next time on A Drill and a Dream, after we watch the sunset, of course. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to show you the amazing, amazing things that are going to happen in that garden over the next who knows how long.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe so you will know when new videos come out and you can continue this exciting journey both inside and outside the house with me. We have a lot of very, very exciting things happening here. So stay tuned next time on A Drill and a Dream.